I think Janine embodies in her scholarship elements of justice and social justice, equality, uplifting of people who are underprivileged, equality of gender. So she does embody a lot of the principles that you see in Trudeau's social justice program when he was Prime Minister.
Yeah, I mean, Janine is not someone who would necessarily identify herself as a partisan in any way, but she is a political animal. She has to have every single cable news network because she's got to have her finger on the pulse of what's happening all the time.
What my work has done in particular has focused in on social policy and what I call social governance. And what has evolved in Canada is, and it's not dissimilar to Australia and other places, is what I call donut federalism, where the federal government is essentially left social policy to maybe be dealt with either by the provinces or by voluntary organizations. And 6 provinces in the last 4 or 5 years have adopted what they call poverty reduction strategies. In the next few years, my focus is going to be on these provincial anti-poverty strategies, see what they're composed of, see their similarities and differences, and assess their effectiveness.
I think what she's most known for is her gender studies, women's studies, and social justice work.
She sort of led the way to our thinking about the relationship between the Canadian state and the women's movement as that basically came apart through the 1990s and subsequently. I think any feminist in Canada would say Janine Brodie, helped us think through what was going on there.
I sometimes brag to my colleagues who teach at other universities that if you have a good idea or if you have a good project, that you're going to find support for it someplace at the U of A. You might have to knock on a lot of doors and do a lot of footwork, but the support is there. So there's a kind of can-do attitude here that in fact has produced wonderful results.
The Trudeau Fellowship is a national award. It has international implications for Janine's work. It recognizes the fact that she is an outstanding scholar. I think it also helps to inspire another generation of political scientists, a younger generation of political scientists, to try to achieve some of the things that she did.
I was born in a city called Zaragoza, down the Pyrenees in Spain. I could develop the passion I have for literature, a passion that started basically through my family, and especially in particular through my mother. Some of my memories when I was very young and just waking up at 1 in the morning, there was light in the living room, and then I would go and see her, that she'd fallen asleep always with a book. So that was kind of, as you were saying, this mystique surrounding books for me. I was teaching high school there, but I couldn't really explore literature in the way I wanted, so that's why I decided to move to Canada and pursue my PhD here.
Crossing borders is a common experience in our globalized world, and what Libe's research does is turns to literature for what you might call thick descriptions of all of the things that crossing borders might mean in this day and age. She goes one step further and discovers that women writers who have crossed geopolitical boundaries also frequently push against other more symbolic boundaries, such as the conventions that govern gender and sexuality.
There's only ever been 5 Trudeau Scholars from English departments, and I think the fact that 3 of them have been from the U of A English department really shows that students are encouraged to do specifically social justice and human rights related work here, and that work is valued.
And it's just wonderful that they open some spots for non-Canadians. Hi again, how's it going? Good. I think it's kind of risky to fund someone coming from Spain working on contemporary women writers who are not particularly well known and dealing with issues like queer and transgender. It's saying something about the humanities.
Working with Libe it's just a joy. She's smart, she's hardworking, she's generous, she's open-minded and curious, and she's super passionate about the work that she does. She is a woman who knows her mind.